Hey, folks. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the 9th of May, 2014. How y'all doing today? Lots going on. Lots going on. Utah is going to, or says they're going to disarm the BLM and all that because they're not paramilitary. And I agree. I absolutely agree because of the fact that here's this to contend with, folks. here's this to remember. How's this for your Friday? How's this for your Friday? These politicians that voted for the NDAA, that were all for it, are now against it. That's just an example, folks. Here's the bottom line. We all have our differences. We all have our own perspectives. We all have our way of doing things that seems right to us. Do we not? Then why the hell does BLM, ATF, all these people have, and Border Patrol, why do they have militarized weapons? It's just a question. Is it because they're after something, or they know something, or I don't know. I don't know. But I can tell you this much. The only people that need to have militarized arms are the military and their factions, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, the Army, the Coast Guard. They're the only ones that need the military hardware. Your local law enforcement, from the sheriff to the highway patrol, the state police, the city police, they don't need any of that. They got a gun on their side. That's good enough. But, think about this too, folks. The drug cartels and the drug dealers and the street gangs, they outpower every single law enforcement officer in your city. So what gives? How do we remedy this situation? Well, it's real simple, folks. We remedy the situation by taking these drug cartels and the people that fund them, namely the CIA and the Attorney General and all of that, and we stop them. It's called a preemptive strike. Have you ever heard of that phrase? Yeah, it's something to think about. Now, we are heading into a very precarious moment in time in the United States. Will the United States collapse? Yes, it will. Will the United States and people in the United States accept a new religion for the United States? Hell no. And I'll tell you why. Because we have gone 238 years under principles of Christianity, not really Christianity, but of the Bible and of biblical teachings and all of that. We are not going to have any other type of religion that says all other religions are useless and pointless and should not be around. Okay? And I'll tell you, it's very difficult. Now, I'll explain that when I get back from the break, but the thing is that we all have to understand, we're all screwed if we don't stand up and take the reins back from these out-of-control drivers and do what we have to do to survive. Okay? So, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. The website is freeamericaradio.us.
Listen to Angel Clark Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Radio Freedom News Network. RadioFreedom.us.
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Ah, damn politicians. My mother always told me this country would be screwed if the liberals had their way. The only sanity I get is when I listen to Jeff Wagner on the Conservative Voice, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 9th of May, 2014. I am so glad you are here today on this Friday. Appreciate that very much. Go to freeamericaradio.us for more information about the views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, right here on Spreaker.com and also on freeamericaradio.us. The Wayne S. Pierce Show. .weebly.com is the website you want to go to as well to get more information. If you want to sponsor this show, you can just go to the sponsor page, and those rates are, hey, they're set in stone, boy. I'll tell you right now, you ain't going to get anything better than that, but that's for this particular show. If you want to advertise on the Free America Radio Network, you just email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, and we'll work something out. But for this particular show, the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com, sponsoring it it's not going to break your budget. It really isn't. So check it out. If you have any questions, please ask me. Yeah? Email me. Let me know. So anyway, hey, lots of things going on today. Lots and lots of things. The one thing that I want to stress as well is getting back to what I was talking about. Before I do, I want to stress this. We all have different perspectives. Okay, remember that. You can stand in a room, you can keep your head facing forward, don't move your eyes, don't move your head, don't do anything, and that's your perspective. Now, your perception is that thing that where you start moving your head and you start looking around and seeing things, and then you interpret these things, based on the things that you can compare it to. So we all have a different perspective. Okay, and we all see things from different sides. So when you get into this area of well, he's wrong and she's right, blah blah blah. When you get into all that, no, it's only their perspective. No one is completely wrong, and no one is completely right. So it's just their perspective. I'll be back right after this.
The views expressed. The high-caliber, armor-piercing Holotype round that pierces right through your soul. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time on Spreaker.com.
Hey, welcome back. Yes, I want to explain. Thank you for being here. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, or go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Excuse me, the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com for more information. Thank you very much. Now, why do I say that we're not going to have one religion to rule them all? When in fact, I'm going to start it out by saying this. We have had one religion ruling all of them, and that is Christianity. There are more, from some statistics, and people can cook the books all they want, we have more Christians in the United States than we do any other religion. Okay? And that, when I say Christians, I'm talking not only the Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterians, that kind of thing, Catholics, all that. We have Christians, in quotes. We have more of them than we do anybody else. Now, when the country collapses and the Muslim Brotherhood wants to install their Sharia law, we don't want that. Hell no. That's just the way it's going to be. And people need to stand up and speak out and get involved, as Brian Lang over at Live Truth Radio says. And if we don't start kicking down the barriers and understanding humanity as it is, and understand that we have a spirit, and understand that we have a perspective that is our own, and begin to work together for a better society, a better community, then we're all screwed, folks. Okay? We are all screwed, all right? That's just the way it is. Now, a lot of people say, well, this is America and there's freedom of religion and all this. Yeah, okay, I got that. Hello, give you a virtual high five on that one. You passed your history class, obviously. But the fact of the matter is, I'm okay. My perspective is I'm okay with various religions believing what they want. I'm not okay with a religion coercing me into believing what they want or they kill me. Huh. Kind of sounds like Christianity, doesn't it? See what I'm saying? Going back to the, religion that is the most popular in the United States. Go check it out. Who came over here and killed the, and I'm going to say this. Who came over here and killed those that they proclaim to be witches? It was the Puritans who took the Bible literally, legalistically, and said, this is what you have to do. Well, people have become less barbaric over the past 400 years. I think it's 400. I'm not quite sure. When did the Puritans come to the shores of America? Let's figure that one out first. My history could be wrong on that one. But over the years, my point is, over the years, we've changed, we've matured, we've become better, we've understood that it's not right to go and kill people that, believe differently than we do. Okay? But these people who want Sharia law sure as hell don't care. I can tell you that much right now. But then here's another perspective on that same issue. Is it the propaganda that's out there purporting to be this dangerous and deadly cult of radical Muslim jihadists who are killing people, propagated by the state-run media to instill fear in all of us? This is another perspective to look at. I mean, seriously. We have to really step back for a moment. Okay? And just ask ourselves, what do we believe? We have a perspective here. What do we believe? How do we believe? What is this that is in front of us? What is this that is in front of us? And then we have to really examine it and really put it in perspective. And really, we have to enlighten ourselves, okay, in understanding certain elements that are not beneficial to us. In other words, study your enemy, find out what they can do, find out their capabilities, and protect yourself from them. Okay? How can you attempt to do something without having a direction? In other words, we've all made models, have we not? Model cars, model rockets, whatever. There were directions in it. Well, somebody had to come up with those directions, didn't they? There was some testing, there was some research and development and all of that. Boom, here are the instructions. This is how it works. This is how you put it all together. This is how life is in America. We've found what works. We have developed ideas that are beneficial to not only the individual but to the group, your county, your city, your state, your individual friends, and you yourself. We know that. We understand that. The opposite of that is not giving a crap and going out and just doing whatever it is you want without any direction and any purpose whatsoever. Okay? So as far as that is concerned, we have to come to really a point at which we need to examine these things and say, wait. Time the F out. Okay. We need to stop and examine and say, is there a better way? Well, yeah, there is a better way. Okay? I'm going to use this phrase. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Remember that? Remember that phrase? And this is absolutely true. I don't negotiate with the enemy. That's just the way it is. Identify and define the enemy. Anybody that is using aggressive coercion to change me, that's my enemy. A lot of people say, or not a lot, I've heard it said that you have no choice but to forgive. I've heard that phrase in many different variations, but you have no choice but to forgive. So does that mean that if I'm witnessing or see an article or a story about some radical jihadist killing Christians, I'm supposed to forgive them? Oh, hell no. Lock and load, because, buddy, it's on. Okay. Can I do anything about it? Sitting here in the greatest country in the world, and can I fly over there and do something? No, I can't. I can't. But I can tell you this. By sitting down and examining every little aspect of what is going on, you will find who the true enemy is and who created them. And don't give me this crap, it was Satan. Get that thought out of your head. I'm driving to a point and I'm going headlong into this logic, and it's this. When you look at all of the propaganda that's out there that is instilling fear in the hearts of Americans, you have to look back in history and find where those things came from, those ideas came from, who wrote those down, who put those into an instruction book, and how those are being implemented. You have to look at that. Edward Bernays, people of that nature, Aldous Huxley, George Orwell. You can look at all of that and see right out in front of your face who created it. But those men, their hearts were filled with evil. No. They were filled, if you want to call it that, with an opposite feeling that caused them to be the way they are. In other words, where did that thought come from? We're not so concerned about where it came from, because now the Pandora's box has been opened, the cat's out of the bag, come up with any other colloquialism if you want. But it's been over 238 years, specifically in the United States of America, where people have been free to do and believe whatever it is they want to do and believe. But then there's another group out there that wants to come to the United States that is already here by some accounts, who wants to change that and kill you because you don't believe what they want you to believe. And let me just be totally further explain and be honest with you. The country of the United States of America is a corporation, period, end of sentence. Act of 1871, go look it up. Prior to 1871, we had peace, we had all sorts of things up until probably about in the big thing that happened was 1861. We had the War of Independence in 1775, 1776. We had the Civil War in 1861 to 1865, and it went on after that. I think it was a few more years after that. But it was officially over in 1865. Then we had in 1871 the Act of 1871. Then we had the building of a corporation built upon the ideologies of foreign entities into the United States of America, namely France, Belgium, England, a few other places, Russia at that time. It wasn't called Russia, but it was something else. They built an ideology in the United States of America that became what was known as multiculturalism, which never works. Okay? Never works. It's a destructive ideology that doesn't allow for individual growth or for a collective benefit. Collective being your neighbor, your friends, your coworkers, your city, your state, There's never that individual growth for collective benefit in multiculturalism. It does not work at all, ever, and never has. Okay? And never will. What works is sitting down with those who are different than you, whether they're different religions, different colors, different ideologies, and working something out to benefit all, regardless of who you are. Okay? Regardless of who you are, what you believe, any of that. Okay? Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. It was shown to be done in 1776 and 1791. When the Constitution and the Bill of Rights was ratified December 15th in 1791. It can work. The problem is, with the Pandora's box being open and broken and all this crap all over the place, multiculturalism has the elements in it from various groups where one person's going to stand up and say, I'm going to take the reins and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and everybody else is going to have to follow that. That's where we're at now, folks. That's where we're at now. And it's gotten to the point where you either stand up and, well, take care of what you got to take care of by any means necessary. Do what you got to do. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's only one way. There's only one way for a bunch of people to benefit a whole bunch of other people. And it's not out of the ideology of multiculturalism. It's out of the ideology of, and even the implementation of the aspects of humanity that are going to benefit everyone in where they live, what they do, their business, whatever. But here's something you need to take a look at. Not everyone is going to be happy. I got friends of every race, creed, sexual orientation. I mean, it doesn't matter. I like them all. They like me. They understand where I come from. We disagree, but we can still sit down and have dinner. You know what I'm saying? It works. Because we understand one another. We have that understanding of humanity, or within that human, that human nature that we have through spirit and through the energies around us. And I'll go into that deeper, at some other program. But we understand all of this. We can develop a country based upon the ideas that are going to help instead of hinder, that are going to propel the individual to help their communities instead of having one person controlling everyone. Now, somebody says, well, that's America at its purest. Yeah, prior to 1871, that's what it was. But we don't have that anymore. We have this feeling that at any moment in time, that rubber band is going to break. You ever played with a rubber band and pulled it to see how far you can get it before it breaks? That's exactly where we're at right now. It is based on a false sense of security with bad ideas in a structure of a multiculturalism that is not working. Okay? Now, I could be wrong in all of this, and I could be just totally out in left field. You might think that I'm full of BS, but let me tell you something. I want you to go check this out. I want you to check this out. I'm telling you what I see it from my perspective. Remember that I mentioned that before. My perspective is, and I just told you about it. So you guys need to go check this out. You need to understand what's going on. I can only give you the guides. I can, show you, hey, look, there's a stop sign up here at the corner. I think you should stop. Whether you want to stop or not, that's entirely up to you. But there's a risk, in that regard. So check it out, folks, please. I just wanted to give you my perspective on that one. And Free America Radio is one of the websites. FreeAmericaRadio.us is one of the websites. You can email me there at freeamericaradio@usa.com. That would be freeamericaradio@usa.com. Also, for this program, the website is thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. And you can go there, check that out. If you have any questions, please email me, man. just ask. Anything you like. Doesn't matter if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. It's as simple as that. Hey, I'll be back right after this message. Stick around. I got more to come. Waking up the masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking up the masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking up the masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking up the masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com. If you want more entertainment value than your dollar can buy you at the movies, listen to the Chris Top Program on Spreaker.com. Welcome back, folks. How you doing? Yes, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 9th of May, 2014. So, now, let me make a clarification. I'm not against religion, I'm against coercion. Just want to point that out to you. I don't like, and I'm sure you don't like, being coerced into doing anything or believing anything. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we have to decide for ourselves what we believe. We have to decide for ourselves how to believe. And the only way to do that is to do the research. Go out, learn, ask questions, do whatever it is we need to do, But I want to remind you that I got another show on today, actually 2. So it's a busy Friday for me. Come check out the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com, FreeAmericaRadio.us, and also WakingUpTheMasses.com, and broadcasting throughout the Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 a.m. Now, I also have another show later on this evening on the 9th of May, 2014, and it's called the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. I say that slow because people go, what was that? Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Go to grabbagshow.weebly.com to listen to it, or right here on Spreaker.com. I'll give you more information before the end of this show. So, how do we... Well, let me go into this direction. Instead of asking you the question, let me go into this direction and hopefully help you understand a few more things. Okay? So go to Free America Radio on Facebook and give you a little preview also of what's coming up on Free America on the Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Views on the Free America Radio Network. The all this stuff, that you think about. You ever gotten to the point where you're like, oh my God, I got too much, and your brain just does flips? Yeah, that's what happened. From NoArmyCanStopAnIdea.com, that's Angel Clark's site, NoArmyCanStopAnIdea.com. The Canadian government's secure phones come straight from the NSA. And check that out. LibertyNews.com. Breaking: people who supported Cliven Bundy during BLM standoff now being investigated by FBI. I'm sure that's going to be out there. Also from BeforeIt'sNews.com, Bunkerville FBI announces they are officially on their way to Bunker Ranch. Breaking. And how much of that do you believe? So... Also from AntiNWOAlliance.com, Scientists create first living organism from artificial DNA. They're playing God, folks. The USPatriot.com, NAACP says Robert E. Lee painting must be removed because it's racist. I didn't say that. You go to the USPatriot.com and read that article. Also, from the MinorityReportBlog.com, it's a video. I mentioned this yesterday on The Views Expressed. Harry Reid says Republicans hate women, Hispanics, blacks, gays, Asians, and everyone else. Also from westernjournalism.com, leftists resort to death threats to try and stop Benghazi investigation. Yeah. Folks, I am completely and utterly and 100% done with Washington, D.C. Absolutely done with them. I do not recognize them or the authority that they have. Period. Okay? Now, what does that mean? It means I don't recognize them. They are not my they're not my leaders. Okay? They're not my leaders. I don't recognize them for being who they are. I don't recognize them for being, a part of, let's put it this way. I recognize them for being part of the system that they are controlling. I don't recognize their authority in that system over me. Okay? That's how simple as I can put it. Now, I want people to understand one very important thing, and that is, and it's real simple to understand, that I don't put up with bullcrap. Okay? I don't. If you're going to be stupid someplace else. If you're going to say stupid things, keep your pie hole shut. If you're going to go into politics, you're stupid. Because here's the thing. Nothing good comes out of politics. Nothing good comes out of it. Again, my perspective. Nothing good comes out of it. You can say what you want about the politicians. You can say anything you want about any of those creatures up in Washington, D.C. Bottom line is they don't know a damn thing, never have and never will, because they don't have their fingers on the pulse of society at all, ever. All they care about is pleasing their controllers. Now, let me say this. Not all of those people up there are worthless. Some are looking at the system going, I'm in the middle of this and it's freaking chaotic. How the hell do I get out? And they go there to change things. You've heard this. You've heard them say this. I'm going to go there and change things from the inside. And they get gobbled up. Okay? And what happens? What happens? You never hear from them for a long, long time. You don't hear from them for quite some time to come. So, they're in the abyss of Washington, D.C. Yes. So what happens at that point? You and I, folks, It's going to take we the people to stand up and say enough's enough. We have had enough. We see it. I'm hearing it. People are pissed. And if they don't get their head out of their ass and start working to get, things changed, your next step is a FEMA camp near you. And don't tell me they don't exist. I know they do. I got a list. Hello? Now, how do we proceed from here? That's entirely up to you, folks. You got to do what's right. Ignoring the obvious does not make it go away. Paying attention to the obvious gives us a chance of making better choices to ensure our future. Ignorance is not bliss, it's death. That's from Peter Kling. You can find him at Peter Kling, that's Kling, on Facebook. And he is a very, very smart man. George Herbert Walker Bush, the war in Iraq, I think he got the name wrong. The meme, there's a picture on Peter Kling's site, has a bunch of people. David Rockefeller, George Bush, the son, not senior. And I was about ready to read this, but I want you to go read it. I'm going to put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show. It's a very small picture. You may have seen it elsewhere. And I'm going to let Peter Kling know that the picture is very, very small. I can't read it, like right now. The picture is too small to read. Got a bigger one? Got a bigger picture? So I'm just going to let him know about that. But folks need to really pay attention. That's the key issue. That's the key. That's the key element. People have to pay attention. Okay? I find it incredibly odd that people don't. I find it incredibly odd that people seem to ignore the obvious and say that ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance is not bliss. It's ignorant. It's dangerous. Because if you don't find a way to educate yourself on things going on around you, I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't. But I do know that once you start paying attention and educating yourself and getting on the right track and getting and doing the right thing and making sure that you don't hurt anybody or kill anybody or, lie to anybody or steal from anybody, when you do the right thing, you don't have to lie to cover your tracks. You don't have to steal to cover up things. When you do the right thing for people, it's right there. I mean, it's the people are going to benefit from that. So anyway, let me take you into another direction here. And I'll do that right after this break. I shall be back right after this. For all you independent artists, musicians, and filmmakers, there is a place for you. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. Government cover-ups, corruption, illegal wars, NSA spying, CIA-funded operations. What more do you need to know about what is happening in the United States of America? The elites are actively pursuing the total collapse of the United States of America by using false flag events to further erode the foundations of this country and to destroy the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. Take a stand. Defend your liberties and freedoms. FreeAmericaRadio.us. Hey, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. It is not live. I'm usually live, but not today. This is the 9th of April, 2014. I want to remind you that later tonight, I have another show, and it's Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. I know it's a mouthful, but let me say that again. Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. I said it slower that time, okay? You can go to grabbagshow.weebly.com for more information. Also, come join us tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com and grabbagshow.weebly.com. And, it's a grab bag. We talk about anything that's off the top of our heads. We take notes, but sometimes we don't use them. And we talk about what's going on in the world today, some news, that kind of thing. So it's not political. It's really fun. It's a grab bag. I mean, and you can join us. What's on your mind? It's probably on our mind, too. So come join us on the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Go to, you can hear it right here on Spreaker.com as well. Go to Free America Radio Network, search for shows, and look for Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. I know, I know. Come join us on Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, grabbagshow.weebly.com. Thank you very much. So anyway, how in the world are you people? I want to get this cleared up right now, because sometimes people, for new listeners, they're going, well, what's going on? I stand on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights prior to 1871. Boom. Done. That's it. That's the rule of law. None of the other laws matter. That's the rule of law, period. Prior to 1871. I also, within the last several weeks and all of that, I stand with people who are for the First Amendment, for the Second Amendment. I stand with people who, are feeling that they're persecuted by others who don't believe the same things that I do. Okay. So to break it down really simply, instead of going into this whole, diatribe, I stand with Clive and Bundy. I'm against the BLM. And Utah is against the BLM because they want the BLM and all these other ones to be disarmed, period, because they're not paramilitary. That's what the BLM and all these other, that's why the Department of Homeland Security ordered up 2.5 billion rounds of ammunition. You understand me? They're after us. They want to control us, period, end of sentence. That's why they did this. Okay. Now, I stand with Clive and Bundy. His family has been out there since 1877. He has a right to that land. It's prescriptive rights. The BLM has no idea what they're talking about, and neither does anybody over on MSNBC. Okay, period. End of sentence. Nobody does in the state-run media, to be totally honest with you. Nobody knows over there what they're talking about. So anyway, that's what I believe. Now, again, as I talked about on the beginning of the show, perspective. You may have a different perspective of it. Well, let me get right down to where the rubber meets the road, where the nitty-gritty is, okay? Anybody that tells me I'm wrong I have the perfect comeback. And it's this. Prove yourself right. That's just the way it is. Prove yourself right. And, nobody does, nobody can. I've never had anyone come to me and say, here's why I disagree with you. Here's why I believe you're wrong. Really? I know how they do that. I know why they do that. How they do it is they find everything that is contradictory to anything that I'm saying. Okay? And I know this. I understand this. It's right there in front of their... This is how they operate. I know their playbook. They don't care. They can take the information I have only because they're going to use it to try to find everything that's opposite so that they can throw it back in my face and try to make me believe what they believe. Can you say coercion? Because that's what it is. And that's some religions around the world do the same thing. So anyway, that's a totally different program. But basically, when a person tells me I'm wrong, they're contradicting my facts. Therefore, they have to prove themselves right. And that's what I tell people. Prove yourself right. You can't do it. You don't know how. You never have, and you never will. Period. Done. Why? Because I know your playbook. I know the playbook from the front to the back. I know how you operate. And I'm just trying to educate people on how the opposition works. False flag events to get us into war, lies, cover-ups, thievery, illegal land grabs, all of this. I can go further if you'd like. I've had people tell me right to my face, you don't like your government, do you? I said, it's not that. I don't like corrupt government. And we need to get these criminals out of Washington, D.C. And they look at me going, well, they're not all bad. Well, I'll give you that one. Not all of them are bad, but the ones that are making the good ones look like crap. Okay? So anyway, folks, we need to pay attention. We need to step up to the plate. We need to grab the reins of this country before it finally goes over into the abyss. Will it collapse? We can fight and fight and fight, but when the wheels on the car are flat and you can no longer move, you're pretty much, that's it. You're done. And the United States of America, as we've known it, is done. It's completely and utterly done, and we've had warnings from our founding fathers saying that if you have a central bank and you are borrowing from that central bank, you're going to have problems, and guess what? You're going to be a slave to that bank, and guess what? We are, to a tune of 17 or 18 trillion dollars worth, okay, that we, the taxpayers, were forced and coerced into paying illegally. I didn't sign on to have my money sent overseas. I didn't sign a document that says, yes, use a percentage of my money to go to war with other countries. I didn't do that. I didn't consent. You don't have my, consent to do the things that you do, Mr. Government official. That's just the way it is. And our founding fathers knew this. Our founding fathers knew that one of the branches of government, and they separated them for a reason, was going to take over. And that is why they have the Bill of Rights as it is, and the Second Amendment for what it is. And it's not just for hunting their morons. It's for defending yourself against a tyrannical government, whether it's domestic or foreign. And that's just the way it is. Period. End of sentence. Do your history. Do your research. I know. There you go. So, period, done. I can talk all day about this. I can sit down with scholars. I can sit down with professors and school them on the Constitution and school them on how individuals work and what the psychology is behind the cover-ups and all this. I can do that. But you know what? Those professors are going to look at me and think I've got a third eye and I'm from the planet Bluebeard or something. Because they're born and raised to believe one thing. They go to colleges and are indoctrinated with the left-wing philosophies and ideologies that have and are destroying this country. Period. End of sentence. All of your schools, from the time you send your little 5 or 6-year-old to school to the time they graduate college, they are in a governmental indoctrination institute, period. You have no say in what your child learns unless you pull them out of that school and you put them at home and you teach them what they need to know. And that's the only way you're ever going to have a smart kid in this world. When I say smart, I'm talking intelligent, logic, knows how to take care of themselves. Mama didn't raise no fool over here, folks. I was cooking my own breakfast at 12, 13 years old. I was doing stuff. I was well ahead of everybody else that I knew of in my class in school. I was in the 9th grade doing college-level English. Can you tell me where you can find anybody else that did that? I was doing 12th grade math in the 9th grade. I don't want to hear any more crap about, well, you know, it's just the kids and it's the schools, and the schools and we need to pour more money into the no. We need to get these morons out of these governmental indoctrination institutes that are teaching your children the crap that we are currently in. And we are currently in the crap we're currently in because of the crap they teach our kids. So we need to get rid of them. We need to fire each and every single one of them and put parents that know what the hell they're doing into classrooms. I'm all for classroom monitors. People that go, and you've heard about those. They don't have those much anymore, where parents go into the classrooms and watch the teacher teach or help out in the classroom with other students that are having problems. Very rarely do you hear about any of that. But we need those, and we need those now. And I don't care if a parent is standing right behind the principal of the school. They're going to do what the parents tell them to do, period. You're not going to indoctrinate our children with your left-wing propaganda bullcrap. That's just the way it is. Don't like it? I don't care. You're going to change the whole system to suit my needs. And every single parent is going to have to stand up and say that. Well, then if you pull them out of school, you're going to have moron parents teaching kids. No, you're not. There's this thing called self-education. There's this big building in your city called the library. There's this thing called the internet. You can learn a great deal. There's homeschooling organizations that will help you. Not a big deal. You got to do it or your kids are going to fall through the cracks and they're going to wind up, I don't know what they're going to wind up being, but it's not going to be nice. But anyway, folks, it's about time I get the heck out of here. I got things I got to do. Can't. So anyway, come join me on the Views Express live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us, wakingupthemasses.com, and broadcasting live through Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 a.m. And you can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. This show, the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com is the website. Talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend and enjoy your day. Thank you very, very much.